You know you got something special if this is how you start a game. I'll just leave that running in the background while I show you what this is about. This is Putrescence Regnant, a Mörk Borg box crawl, also an album crawl, because it comes with a vinyl long player, and on that is music befitting the adventure. This is an official release, and when I first heard about it, I was intrigued but also skeptical. Seemed to be a bit much just for an adventure, and at that point I didn't actually have a record player. But I've remedied that since then, and can now appreciate something that is this old school. So let me show you what we have. We've got the slipcase itself, front, back, but inside of here is your map and your random encounters, also your loot tables, what happens when you capsize your boat and when you come into a miasma. Notice here on the map there's a random table for the stench of the bog. Thick piss in a black gutter. Very atmospheric, very thematic. And you can just use this as your GM screen. It's more than big enough. You have everything you need right here. This is the slip for the LP. On the back side of this, you've got a map that you can hand to your players. It's black and white, it's sludged and stained and doesn't have all the information, but enough to get them started. For example, what's here, or why there's written treasure here. You can be sure your players will want to check those locations out. And on the front, there's a new class, the Gilded Wolf, some kind of brigand, some kind of murderer, which specializes in killing nobles. This is the actual adventure. So we've got this accursed bog where a king does undead experiment to gain Lichtdom. And there are three main factions you can encounter here. There are the Scions of Schleswig, nobles that have come in search for this king to reinstate him on the throne. We've got the Mud Cult, basically Mörk Borg's version of hippies, who live on an island of flesh within the bog, and the immortal Algae Rots. Those are the alligator people from the cover. and they just want to be left alone. They just live, they can't die, and they'd be, if not happy, at least content if they were just to be left alone. But of course, this is not happening. We start the adventure in the township of Taurish, where you can find anything to start your adventure, like fine boats with a random table what defect the cheap boat has when it will sink, some crew you might hire, all very thematic. Then we've got the actual places to explore on the map. A few places of note. There's a swimming basilica of the Science of Schleswig searching for their king. And they've got undead chained up in front to pull them through the bog. And the Isle of Flesh. Literally, this is like the head of a giant that pokes out of the bog. This is where the cult of mud lives. Then we've got an inverted tower. So you think you're going down into it, but you're actually going up, and you have to invert everything to be able to read this. Interesting. The very last page describes the High King's Augur, some kind of ghost, some kind of telepresence serving the king, which knows where to find High King Lorter VI. And interestingly enough, you've got a lot of random tables, what the king is currently up about, what his form is, where he is, what he wants, and what his court is. So there's a lot of variation for you to pick or choose to make this adventure your own, or even run it several times, and each time will be completely different. Now, what I missed when looking through this adventure is a reason for the player characters to actually be in this bog and doing anything. I mean, as a seasoned GM, it will be easy enough to come up with your own reasons. Maybe they are searching for the king, maybe the current king has hired them to kill the last king, or to find and keep him safe, or maybe they are in search of treasure, that always works, search of a plant, to a cure to a strange otherworldly disease they're suffering from. Maybe they have to accompany an expedition in search of the mud cult, or mad scientist who is investigating the Algae Rots in search of immortality or something. But I would appreciate it, a random table somewhere. For example, right here, give me a random table with D8 reasons why my PCs are going on this adventure. But you know what? I will come up with said table, and I will just leave it in the video description for you to use as you so choose. Now, for completion's sake, let's look at this on the Blacklight. So the cover is not very impressive on a Blacklight. The map neither. Backside neither. Slipcase, nope. But the adventure module is. I think the camera's completely messing up the contrast. But this is a striking yellow. This above is of course white. If I hold the flashlight really far away, then it's better. Okay. And the inside just comes alive. Look at that picture. Oh god. I think this is going to be the thumbnail. Yeah. And the map. All very striking in Blacklight. Boat would also be a good thumbnail. So yeah, Putrescence Regnant, a Mörk Borg book roll, and I can't wait to run this game. Maybe this Halloween. Got 4 players lined up for Halloween to scare the crap out of them. I'm looking forward to that game. As always, thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more like it, hit the like button and the subscribe button down below. Thanks and goodbye.